This is the Ohio Ag Net from the Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company. I'm Joel Norwood with your farm news here on Christmas Eve. And Merry Christmas to you and yours. Hope you have a great day and safe travels if you're out on the road. The United States has secured a significant trade victory under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Agreement, or the USMCA, following a dispute with Mexico over genetically engineered corn imports. U.S. Trade Representative Katherine Tai announced that a dispute panel sided with the United States on all 7 legal claims, ruling that Mexico's ban on GMO corn imports violated the trade agreement. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack welcomed the decision. He says Mexico's measures ran counter to decades' worth of evidence demonstrating the safety of agricultural biotechnology underpinned by science and risk-based regulatory systems. Back in February of 23, Mexico issued decrees banning GMO white corn used in food products, and they sought alternative sources for non-GMO yellow corn used in livestock feed. Dave Salmonson is Senior Director of Government Affairs for the American Farm Bureau.
So the one about the white corn said, no, we're not importing that anymore, don't want. And the other one said, we want the Mexican government to find other sources. We want non-GMO yellow corn.
The panel determined that Mexico's actions were not grounded in science and undermined the market access promised in the USMCA.
The dispute panel, which is made up of persons from all 3 countries, decided for the U.S. on all counts. The main points of their panel decision were, 1, that the Mexican measures were not based on science, and 2, that what they were doing was undermining the market access that Mexico agreed to provide in the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement.
Now, keep in mind, Mexico remains a key market for U.S. corn. Government shutdown avoided this past weekend as Congress passed a major funding bill. It includes a farm bill extension through September 2025, also provides $31 billion in disaster and economic aid for farmers. That includes $20.78 billion for natural disaster relief and $10 billion for economic assistance to commodity producers. But there were several programs left out and things farmers were hoping to see passed. Especially crop growers and other programs were excluded. In particular, conservation funding also saw setbacks as $14 billion from the Inflation Reduction Act not incorporated, delaying conservation efforts and leaving future funding decisions to the next administration. Also, a provision for year-round E15 sales removed, frustrating corn growers who are really hoping to get that ethanol piece passed and have been trying to do so for some time. 19 smaller farm programs left unfunded, including initiatives for feral swine control, organic certification, and urban agriculture. However, the bill does support research facilities, addresses water shortages impacting Texas farmers in particular, and it provides aid to states with low net farm incomes. In other news, and right now at OhioAgNet.com, the Corporate Transparency Act is back, meaning thousands of farmers risk hefty fines or even prison time under the revived federal rule requiring small businesses to report ownership details by the beginning of January. A recent court ruling has reinstated the federal requirement for farmers operating corporations or LLCs to file beneficial ownership information with the U.S. Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. This comes after an earlier injunction halted the requirement back on December 3rd. Now, farmers who fail to file could face fines up to $10,000, daily civil penalties, and even felony charges with prison time. The American Farm Bureau Federation estimates over 230,000 farms must comply, yet only 11% of eligible businesses nationwide have filed. American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall is criticizing the ruling, citing poor public outreach and limited guidance, and is calling for an extension to prevent farmers from unknowingly missing the deadline. The National Cattlemen's Beef Association says that in light of the Fifth Circuit's decision, FinCEN announced it will delay enforcement of the Corporate Transparency Act all the way until January 13th, just 3 weeks from now. The delay does not allow enough time, they said, for millions of small businesses to comply with the law. Farmers uncertain about their filing requirements are urged to consult accountants or attorneys. More information, visit FinCEN.gov, FINCEN.gov, and more information at OhioAgNet.com right now. And stay tuned to look at the markets, how they closed ahead of the holiday, up next.
Since 1926, Nationwide has been rooted in agriculture. Founded as the Farm Bureau Mutual Automobile Insurance Company with a mission to protect farmers and their communities, we honor our legacy by offering solutions that evolve with the complex needs of today's farms. As the leading insurer of America's farms and trusted by 8 farm bureaus for 100 years and counting, Nationwide is on your side. Number one insurer based on 2023 direct written premium per AM Best. Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
Time now for a look at how ag commodity markets closed here on Christmas Eve. Do keep in mind they'll be closed on Christmas Day, reopening after that. In Chicago, March corn up 3/4 penny to close $4.48.5 per bushel. New crop corn for next year unchanged, $4.37 1/4. Soybean growers getting an early Christmas present with January up 5 3/4 to $9.75 1/4. November soybeans $9.94. That's a 7-cent gain. July wheat down 5 3/4 to $5.52.5. Markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. On the livestock side, December cattle down 18 cents to $190.80. February cattle the complete opposite, up 18 pennies. March feeder to cattle 68 cents lower to $255.33, while February hogs down a nickel to $84.33, and milk trending higher. Merry Christmas. This is the Ohio AgNet.